Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Zastava M92. Okay, so this is a 10-inch AK-47 pistol. When I bought this, it had wooden furniture on it. I upgraded it with the Midwest Industries rail. The main reason is because I wanted to get a red dot on this. This doesn't even come with a side mount. Okay. And I really don't like the side mounts because, first of all, the optics sit too high, and if you push down on them, they move. It's just side mounts are not really great places to put optics. So the best way I have found to put optics on AKs is over the gas tube, right? So you can actually kind of see over here how the lower rail, okay, if you look through these holes here, the lower rail clamps onto the barrel, and then this upper rail here basically screws into the lower rail, and then the optic goes on top of that. And I've shot this. I think I upgraded this back in like maybe 2019. The best scoop I remember getting was about 2 inches at 100 yards. I decided to shoot again today for accuracy. I mean, I've blasted off a couple rounds here and there, but it's been really since 2019 that I shot it for accuracy. So the first group that I shot at 100 yards was this 5-shot group here, which was like 4.5 inches. Usually I take the best 4 out of 5, so that's about 4 inches. And then I said, okay, I'm warmed up now. Let's go for another 5 shots. What I did is I adjusted it a little bit higher because I saw it was impacting low. So the next 5 shots after I adjusted up came in at, all 5 shots came in at 3 inches. And if I take the best 4 out of 5, I've got 2 inches. So yeah, basically 2 inches at 100 yards, which is what I shot the last time I was shooting for this. That's what this. The main issue with this, because I truly believe that this and all of my AKs are capable of shooting 1-inch groups at 100 yards. The main issue with this is I cannot put a magnifier back here, right? So when I'm shooting this target at 100 yards, I mean, I didn't even bother to put a bullseye on the paper because I can't see it at 100 yards. I'm basically using the whole paper as the bullseye, and I'm trying to center my dot on the paper. So that's not going to be, as good as if I had a fine aiming point that I can hold on. Okay, so that's the reason why the best I can do with a red dot alone is is 2 inches. Okay, but yeah, like I said, I believe that it probably would get 1 inch if I could put a magnifier behind the red dot. So as far as shooting it, now I was shooting the 7.5-inch AR-47 yesterday. Okay, so that got 1.5 inches at 100 yards with the magnifier. It was a 3x magnifier. Shot at 200 yards. I got 5 inches at 200 yards. It was windy yesterday, so that's why the best I could get at 200 was 2.5 MOA. So I wanted to shoot this today and kind of see how it compared. So first of all, it is loud, man. It is loud as shit, and that's with the linear comp over here. So I have a Midwest Industries linear comp. It's interesting. It's a reverse thread, and it kind of locks into place with this detent because you can actually push down on the detent here and basically unscrew this. Okay, so it is convenient for changing. If you wanted to change muzzle devices, it does sit a little bit loose because of the way it goes. However, it is loud. It is a lot louder than other ARs that I have that have similar style linear comps. And I think the reason might be because it's a lot of the noise might be escaping out the back over here, right? And the other thing that might be happening is because AKs are typically very overgassed. And what happens is the excess basically comes out the vent hole at the front of or behind the piston. So because it's like so overgassed, a lot of the noise comes out of the ejection port. So it's called port pump. Okay, so a lot of the noise ends up coming out of here, and it is really loud. Because yesterday, when I was shooting the AR-47 in 7.5 inches, that just had a flash hider on that, and that was a lot quieter, a lot more pleasant to shoot. This, I think I probably shot about 20 rounds today, right? Those two groups there plus another, some more, and like it's giving me like a mild headache, right? And I'm using earmuffs. If I was shooting this with earplugs, I mean, I'd have a pretty good headache. Okay, so the you know, again, the main purpose of me shooting this today is I wanted to see how it compared to the AR-47 that I shot yesterday, which was 7.5 inch, and this is longer. This is 10 inch barrel, and the 7.5 inch AR-47 way more pleasant, a lot easier to shoot. I had that out at 200 yards. I was gonna shoot this at 200 yards, and basically I looked at the target at 150 yards, like, which again, I don't have a magnifier. And basically the red dot was like bigger than the target. So I said, you know, that's just stupid. I mean, at 200 yards, the red dot would be like this big. Like, you know, there's no way I'm going to get good, accurate hits. If I get any hits, it'll just be like, you know, luck. So, I mean, I'll get hits on the thing, but I won't get good enough hits where I can call a group, right? You know, I'll get some impacts, but so I didn't even bother. So that's, you know, again, I just want to give you guys that feedback as to, you know, what it's like when you have a great gun like this, because this is an excellent gun, but I can't put a magnifier behind it. So it's really limiting me to precise, you know, accurate fire, right, to 100 yards. And at 200 yards, you know, I'm pretty much doing like suppression fire or air, you know, because I can't do precise shots because the red dot's just so big. You know, again, if I try to put like any type of a magnified, I can't put a magnified optic here. If I tried to put one up here, then I have an eye relief issue. So that's just not going to work. Okay, but it's a fun gun to shoot. Obviously, I got an SB brace back here. I forget which one it is. I think it might even be SP-47. I don't know. I did a video on this a few years ago where I specifically talk about the brace on this. For some reason SB-47 comes to mind, or SBA-47, I don't know. But great gun. It's like when I bought it, it was like $500. Okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, when I bought it, it was a $600 gun. That's what it was. I just looked it up before I did the video. It looks like they're selling, well, not the pistol version, but the rifle version looks like it's selling for about $2,000. I mean, not that I care. I mean, it's not something I would, you know, want to sell or anything. Just because it's, you know, it's more of a collector's item at this point. It's also very useful for doing comparisons, right? For doing comparisons to like AR-47s. Okay, so the AR-47 is basically, that's a gun that I would use. You know, that's something that you could do high volumes of shooting with. You know, with this, it's like if let's say I break a firing pin or a bolt, like, I don't know, am I going to get the replacement parts? I don't know. You know, this one is Serbian made. The parts from Romanians are not compatible with Serbians, and the Russian parts are not compatible. You know, a lot of the parts, you know, even from within the same company, the parts are kind of fitted. You know, they have to be fitted to the gun. Okay, so yeah, you know, it's a nice collector's item. Again, it's really good for being able to compare it to my AR-47s. I was using like a 20-round magazine here because I didn't want it hitting the table. Let's put in a few rounds over here. Basically, I want to show you guys the muzzle blast. These are the Palm magazines, the clear Palm ones. These are great magazines. These are the ones that, like, I really don't do that much. I don't train people that much on AK-47s anymore. But when I was like 2021 and prior, you know, that's what I was using, the clear Palm magazines. I can see what's in them. They're very durable. They're you know, they're reliable. So that's what I was using. I had tried I mean, the metal ones were working fine. I never had a problem with the metal ones. I never, like, even when they got dropped, right? They're thick enough that the feed lips really wouldn't get bent on them. So I've never really had even a metal one go bad on me. Unlike the AR-15 metal magazines, when those got dropped on their feed lips, they went bad. You would have like all sorts of feeding problems. So I never had an AK magazine that went bad. Okay, but yeah, I'm primarily using the clear Palm ones just so that I could see what's in there. Because I would tell people, like, for a drill, okay, load 6 rounds in the magazine, right? If I have a clear magazine, they can see what's in there. Okay, if it's not clear, I might have like 10 people running up to me asking me how many rounds they put in their magazines. Okay. So anyway, pay attention to the muzzle blast on this thing. It's fun. I mean, I've shot this at night. It's a flamethrower. But yeah, it's a fun gun. When I'm shooting it like this, standing, it doesn't seem as concussive. When I'm shooting it like off the table, right? What's happening? A lot of sound kind of like bounces back off the table back onto me, and it feels a lot more concussive. When you're standing and leaning into it, it's not as bad. Now I did do some. I have looked up, like in I guess Soviet breakaway countries where they did use these the short AK-47s. From what I've been able to gather, okay, the people that use them, like soldiers and people that use them, they didn't like them. They didn't like them primarily because of the concussive blast. It was just hard to train with. And what it comes down to is, like, if you're not, like, if the gun is not pleasant to shoot, realistically, you're not going to practice with it. You're not going to want to train with it. Okay. So, you know, I mean, that's why I don't think that the AR-15 shooting 5.56, I don't think it's, I mean, I think it's going to be around for at least another 100 years. Okay. Because it is a pleasant gun to shoot and train with. Okay. You know, if you step it up to just like an AK-47, like not the, like if I go to a standard 16-inch AK-47, right? You know what? There's a little bit more recoil. It's you know, it just kind of like puts it over that edge where it's like, yeah, you know what? If you shoot 100 rounds, you're good. You know, you had enough for the day. You know. Whereas with AR-15s, I mean, you could shoot like 1,000 rounds in a day, you know, and it doesn't beat you up. So for that reason, I think that 5.56, even though people say it's got all this shortcoming, that shortcoming, whatever, the fact that it doesn't really it doesn't bother you to shoot 1,000 rounds in a day and train with it. I mean, I think that is probably the more significant factor, right? Versus if you shoot something else, maybe it'll be a little bit more powerful, or maybe it'll have more longer range. You know, I think the training aspect of just the gun doesn't beat you up over a long period of time doing high volume counts. I think that's probably the most significant thing. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments. I'll talk to you all soon. One more thing that comes to mind that I just kind of remembered from the last time I was training with this. As far as attaching a sling, okay, there's no easy, great way to do it. Now, the gun does come with this little, loop here, right? So you could attach a sling here, right? But it's like I tried like hooking like an H&K hook on there. It doesn't. It's a little bit too small, so it doesn't hook easily. The best thing to do, I think, is to put, because there's a key mod. Actually, no, with this, there's a key mod system. But yeah, in the front over here, I just remembered, there's a QD ring, a QD slot hole that came with the rail. So the last time I was training with this, that's what I did. I used that in the front, right? Not that. That's a little piece of shit there that doesn't. I used the front QD hole here. But on the back side, what I had to do is I basically had to essentially tie it around the stock in the back, either here or up here. I think I probably went back here. But the thing is, like, yeah, you can remove the sling easily from the front, but not so easily from the back. Okay, so I just thought I'd mention that. That's one of the issues that I remember running into with training with this.